All right, it's 6:30. I call the meeting to order. I have no chairman comments this time. And I don't think we have anything to cover under old business tonight.
Negative.
Okay, there's new business, fire department. I wanted to get, what was it, a couple $1,000?
A couple thousand, 17,500. For fixing 5 dry hydrants and 1 new one.
Okay,
So we'd like to put the new one over at Ben's New Pond,
yep,
because we really should have had them do it when they were doing it.
yep,
Would have been much easier and would have cost us nothing, but we didn't do that. So we would like to put one there, and then we would like to have the other 4 fixed. We don't think that we'll use the total of 17, but it's usually right around $3,500 if it all has to come out and be redone.
okay,
So, and we do have 4 other ones around town that have failed, that we can't pull water from. George would be here tonight, but he got sent out through his work. So he's out of town.
okay, so how do you want to pay for this?
Well, the fire department was doing this because of the option of the ARPA funds
Yep.
that was left.
Yeah, and I don't remember how much we have. Carol, do you remember offhand?
It's like 20,000.
Okay. Well, since people aren't stepping up to spend it, I don't have any problem with using it for this.
I mean, I'm for it. I think I should stay out of the vote because I'm on the fire department, but
Yeah,
George, do you have any thoughts?
On the fire department.
The fire department, we're trying to get the dry hydrants that we have in town fixed, and we're
Right.
trying to add one over at Ben's.
Yeah.
Ben's New Pond.
all right. So I will make a motion.
No, we're trying to do it out of ARPA funds, because they kept asking us what we could use it for.
Yeah.
And we come up with 17,500 for fixing and redoing the new one, putting the new one in. Is what we have.
Okay, I will make a motion to allocate up to $17,500 out of the remaining ARPA fund for the fire department to replace 5 dry hydrants.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Abstain.
Okay. Fire department's got it. What is this here? I already signed everything. Oh, I missed a couple. Okay, Concom. There's actually 2 Concom things here. One is the West Property Conservancy, and the other is the Schoolhouse Meadow budget. Yep. Just make sure it's on. So however, whichever order you want to take them in, go right ahead.
So I thought we'd take the West property first. This is Chris Wells. He's the executive director of the Piscataqua Land Conservancy. So, and he's been driving that project, and we're supporting it. So,
Yeah, make sure that, is the microphone on?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
it's on.
Yeah.
So we voted as a Concom to contribute $15,000 to the conservation easement for that property that was donated to Chris, and he can talk all the details. And then, so what we're here tonight to ask for is for you to sign the executory interest document, which you've reviewed and you had town attorney review. We can get that notarized, and that's one piece of the puzzle. And then I would like to ask for, we still have to have a public comment meeting, and we've scheduled that for March. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to ask for contingent approval to spend that $15,000 commitment. Either, we can either do it now, or we can wait until the public comment meeting is concluded, and then, you know, you can give us contingent approval to execute on that. So, so that would be what I would be asking for as Conservation Commission. I don't know if you have any comments you want to make to the.
Other than hi, nice to meet you. Basically, if you have questions, I'm here to answer your questions. Is everybody clear on the executory interest and what it is and why we're doing it?
Well, let me comment quickly. I had town attorney review the document. He says it's fine, no problem with it. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
And why don't you
essentially,
summarize it for the.
sure. I mean, yeah, for whoever is listening. So long story short, so Temple is one of many towns. There are some that don't have to do it this way, but Temple is one of many towns where if the Town Conservation Commission is going to contribute funds to a project done by somebody, you know, an organization like ours, this town has to take some kind of quote real estate interest, some legal interest in the property. You can't just write us a check for $15,000.
Okay.
Some towns you can, but here in this town you can't. So what this executory interest is sort of the, you know, essentially the simplest way to get the town that real estate interest it has to have. And what it basically says, you know, the legal stuff is that if we, for some reason, were falling completely derelict in caring for the property as conservation land, like 50 years from now, hey, we're going to make a giant sand pit out of it, for instance, whatever, you know, turn it into a big development or something, the town would have standing to step in and say, no, you're not. And we're going to take that property from you. I mean, none of this is ever going to happen, but that's sort of the worst case scenario thing. The other one being, if we were to ever go out of business, this land would essentially go to the town.
Yep.
You would have to, you know, essentially take care of it the same way we have to under the original deed, but the town would get it rather than it go essentially out to the Attorney General's office to then get sent to some other group. The town essentially would be first in line. So that's what it does.
Okay, now I know that a question was raised sometime back about when that property was given to the town, there might have been some restrictions on the deeding of it. Oh, wait a minute, I've got never mind. Yes, the one
Yeah.
over there.
Yep.
There's too many Concom projects going. Okay, yeah, so I don't have any problem with signing it. I don't know if anybody else has any.
I don't either. My only problem with that is that I'm pretty sure legally wise, and we can ask the attorney, that we have to have the hearing before we do anything. And if we don't, then I would be open to making a motion to pay that after the hearing.
Yeah, okay, I did not check that with the attorney.
I think you're right. That's how the RSA reads. And
Okay.
That's how we interpret it. So, we're just trying to keep multiple balls in play, you know, not waiting for the very end and have to come back in March and say, hey, here's the story. So,
Yep, so I would say, fine, at the public hearing, when that concludes, it will be a public hearing. We can vote on that at the time and sign it and notarize it.
Or what I motion to do is to authorize that payment after
Right,
the thing. So they don't have to come back here. We can do it just as paperwork down at the office. We can get our signatures and it can go to wherever.
okay, you want to, all right, we'll make a motion. What about signing the?
yeah, so this document here, won't get filed until the whole, you know, you should speak to this, but till the whole process kind of winds up. So we'd like to be able to execute this document now as one step, and then it all gets concluded financially post the hearing as you suggested.
Post the hearing.
Okay, so I would say we can sign and notarize that tonight with a contingency that'll be in the minutes, that if for some reason this is not going forward after the public comment period, our approval is withdrawn.
Right. And I was saying to Mike the same thing, is that my intention, this is essentially just trying to expedite this a little bit. So this particular box is checked. But what we would do is I'd sign it, you'd keep a copy, I keep a copy, but I'm not going to record it until after this hearing. And we know this is really, it's all going to happen. I'm sure it will, but you know, just in case, it won't be recorded. So if something came up, we could basically agree, we'll both tear this thing up and we'll do something different.
Okay,
So it won't get recorded and essentially become letter of the law until after this hearing.
Okay, so I will move that we sign the document with the contingency that I said, that if for whatever reason this project does not proceed, we withdraw our approval of the document. Otherwise, is there a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor? Okay, so we'll sign that and notarize it.
Oh, you want to do it now?
Yeah,
Or
sure.
Yeah, we can do it.
Yeah. Excellent. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
All three of you signed both.
Yeah.
It should be the last page, so the last signature. So sign it, print your name, date it, and then she can notarize it. And I'll do the same if you want you guys both. So thanks for making the time.
Sure, no problem. Where'd the second one go here?
Notarizing one or two? Both of them. the two
Do you know
copies.
that?
Yeah. Thank- Are you signing it too? Yeah. There it is. Huh? Thanks.
We'll take care of the building permit while that's getting wrapped up over there.
We have a schoolhouse next, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the school, whenever you're ready, I'll.
Well, if I was waiting for him to finish
Yeah.
up, so,
Thanks again.
yeah, sure. All right, we'll just wait. Should be close.
Follow your leads.
As soon as he sits down, you're up.
Okay.
Personal computer, like, putting all in them, you said. Okay.
I'm gonna sit so you can stand. Okay, so let's look at this.
All right, I'm gonna sit, but I'll talk. Okay, the second Concom topic is the Schoolhouse Meadow.
Mhm.
So we all know the history, town vote, town meeting to turn that triangle into conservation piece. So we completed the survey. I got input from as many people as wanted to give me input. I was Caswell for the water. We talked to the Historical Society. So the final drawing I sent to you all a month or so ago, just for completeness, if you will. So it looks complete and done. We've marked the corners of the property. And that's kind of what the Conservancy wants to see, monuments or stakes in the corner. So we're still waiting for the language for what the Conservancy deed's going to look like. So we did talk to them about, restrictions and things like that. No motor vehicles, typical Conservancy activities. So I sent you a budget as well. What's estimated cost for that? It'll probably be a little higher than I think what the estimated cost was, because the survey cost is a little higher, but it's going to be in that $25,000 to $30,000 range. So again, this is all paid for with the conservation fund, no tax dollars, if you will. So what I'm asking for here is that I'd like to be, we're going to have a public hearing comment meeting the same day as we do the Piscataqua, the west property that we just talked about. That'll be on the March 13th. I think it's the 13th or the 14th Concom meeting. We're going to do it then. And then, so I'd like to do is I'd like to have contingent approval to go ahead and pay the Conservancy, post review of the documents and things at the conclusion of that meeting. But I'd also like to be able to pay the surveyor. I do have an invoice. I sent that to you guys as well, just so that you have that information. I'd like to be able to pay the surveyor before we, complete the public meeting, the public comment meeting, and I would need your approval to do that. So those are kind of my asks. The same contingent approval to pay the full Conservancy fee, and then an approval to pay the surveyor before we do the public comment meeting.
Okay, do you know the process for actually getting it paid? It's in a trust fund, correct?
It's in a trust,
Yes.
right?
So you send a letter to the trustee of the trust fund requesting that it be paid.
Mhm.
She authorizes it, we approve it, gets paid.
Okay, so you guys would be okay if I do that prior to the public meeting for those?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, they should get paid. They
Yep.
should get
Yeah,
paid.
yeah,
They shouldn't
right.
have to wait 4 months for work they already did.
Yeah, okay.
I have no problem with that at all.
Okay,
Right.
good. So, I thought Peter Allen was the trustee of the trust fund.
No,
No, he's just
he's the treasurer.
he's just a treasurer.
The trustee of the trust funds, there's a board of trustees.
Okay.
The head one is Sherry Fisk.
Oh, it's Sherry.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
And so we officially approve it when we get the letter requesting the transfer, but we'll approve
Okay.
it. Won't be any
So
problem.
I'll send her a letter requesting payment of the surveyor's invoice, and then the rest of it will just keep moving forward. And when I get draft language from the Conservancy, I'll be sure to bounce it by you guys. So
Okay.
okay.
And actually, you can just email her. It doesn't have to be a physical letter. It just has to be noticed to her.
Yep.
Okay.
So
Along with their invoice,
Yeah.
excuse me.
along with their invoice,
Yeah.
copy of their invoice.
Yeah. I have it. So okay.
Okay.
Do you have to make a motion to do any of that or not? Or
No, that happens once we get the actual.
So I won't come back to the meeting. You'll just do that. as a-
It's fine. It's basically procedural at that point.
Yeah. Okay, good. Excellent. Any other questions?
Well, there was that one. Did that ever get resolved about the original deeding of that land?
So the Monadnock Conservancy is doing,
I'm gonna exit.
you, okay,
I left an hour ago.
So
take care.
Good night.
Thanks for coming.
Right.
So the Monadnock Conservancy is doing the title research and the
Okay.
deed. I've read the whole deed. And there's, again, by my read, there's no restrictions in it at all.
okay,
The original deed from Holt. And I know you've often commented that it was it was set aside for grazing or stuff, or whatever. I forget exactly what you said, but that doesn't appear to be in the deed either, so, but.
They came up at a town meeting quite a few years ago. And it was voted to allow them to graze cows and horses.
Yeah, okay.
yeah, I actually remember that. So that town meeting vote is also binding, so.
Yeah, yeah.
You need to make Monadnock aware of that. They need to look at the town.
Yeah, I did, I'll dig into it and, because I think there won't be any restrictions on agriculture.
Right, that should cover it.
Right, so,
And nobody's had horses or cows out there in a
Yeah,
long time.
yeah. You don't remember what year, do you?
What year?
Yeah, that town meeting?
I've got a copy of the town reports in that.
Yeah.
38. So I think it was sometime between 1990 and 2005.
Yeah, that sounds,
okay.
We were in town, so,
Yeah, we'll dig into that. So.
okay. Otherwise,
We are good?
all set.
Excellent, thanks for your time.
Okay, we got a building permit for Derek and Denise Long.
And I don't know what's up with this, but they have 20-foot boundary distance to the front, right? And no road frontage listed on the application.
Okay. Well, kick it back to them.
This is the one that you're gonna reject and we're referring them to the ZBA.
Yeah. So we reject it, formally reject it. There's no, they do not have enough setback. They will have to go to the ZBA and get a variance.
Now there is an exception to this. Is if it was, the lot was made pre-zoning.
Right.
So if it is a pre-zoned lot, then it's grandfathered.
Mhm.
And I don't know who would do the research to find that out.
It's up to them. It's not our job.
Okay,
The
Okay.
landowner also is giving them permission, they can have their permission to do this.
Okay.
They're not.
Well, that would only count in the ZBA hearing.
Okay.
So what they should do is find out when it was deeded, they can find the deed. And if it was pre-zoning, which was
71, I
Yeah.
think.
yeah. It's before
I'd have to
1971.
go back and look at Madero's lot on North Road. But I found it in his file.
Okay, it was approximately 1970-ish. If it was deeded, if they got the deed to that property prior to the zoning, then they're covered. If it was after that, they got to go to the ZBA.
And I mean, according to this lot survey here, they have 300 feet of frontage. I just don't know why they wouldn't put it on there.
He wasn't quite sure how to fill that section out.
It's pretty
I
obvious.
mean, it's,
He looked at the map and
Well, they need to, regardless, they need to put their frontage on there to complete the form.
and were there any plans with this at all?
they just hired, so they don't want to get too far into the process until they know it's gonna, if it's potentially not gonna be able to go through.
Okay,
So,
well, since, I mean, we're rejecting it, so we don't care, you don't really need
yeah, he
anything else
sent
on there.
a letter saying they're planning our first 4-bedroom and sunroom addition to our house so that we may age in place. I think they want to put it in you.
Okay, so just make a note, we reject it because of possible setback problems and an incomplete application.
And if they want to discuss that further, I can, they can call me.
Yeah,
I will
Shirley
push them in the right
Quinn and
direction.
Mary Gerard are the other abutting property owners that are giving them. No, they're saying it's okay. They don't want, so they got an agreement from the abutting owners that they don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. We can't do 20 feet, even
Right.
with the ZBA. The ZBA can't do 20 feet
Ah. Well,
because zoning says 35.
yeah, I think a variance, a special exception wouldn't work. A variance might, but
I mean, they could do a lot line change with the
Yeah, with the
neighbors. and
neighbors,
They
yeah.
could get it that way, but I don't know how that,
well, that's for them to figure out
okay.
with the ZBA if they need to. Alrighty. Sullivan Harrison building permit
All
on
those other
Moran
ones,
Road.
all those other ones we signed already, so they're
Yep.
just on here, so you can just, we can just.
Approve them.
All those bolded ones.
Yep, tax shield we did. And all three occupancy permits we signed.
Tim Sullivan on Moran Road, we already signed this one?
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay, we need to make sure that, I mean, it says right here, minimum 35 feet. He's got 36 plus.
right. You better
So
be right.
that needs to be verified by
Someone,
someone in the know, yes.
yes. Not just him saying more or less. All right, we've got some other business, so let's hold off on the select board meeting minutes. Need to review the warrant articles. And these are the ones that have been updated. They were updated today, right?
Oh my gosh, this is still not like final wording, but you know, you can still say select board approved. You know what they're all about, right?
Yeah, I know the wording is
The
still,
wording changes a little bit here and there. I just want to get your recommendation.
yep, okay. So Ken, you were the one that was concerned about the, combining those trusts into one. Do you still have any concerns or?
I do, and my concerns were answered by the CIP and the BAC. As long as they continually from this point forward to continually fund that each and every year, I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
And
but
the
they-
fire department's okay with it.
Yeah, all right.
But if they're not going to do that, then we will, I guess, address that at that time.
All right, so do we say select board approves on 1 and 2? I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. Now, do we? Yeah.
Hmm.
George,
What number are we on?
1 and 2.
1 and 2.
The select board recommends as far as we're concerned.
Yes,
Okay. And then 3 goes along with that. That's to set up the new combined trust. So we recommend that also.
I agree.
All right, let's see, added to the highway vehicle and equipment capital reserve fund. Okay, this is adding money to it. So I agree with that.
yes,
All right,
Yes.
so 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all that. Highway department, asphalt and paving expendable trust. I assume we recommend that.
We always do.
Yep. Bridge capital reserve fund. Yep. As far as I'm concerned.
That's money for the future.
yes,
Yeah, we're just having a little go back and forth, and I hope this is final, but because of that grant from the state of New Hampshire, we just had to play around with the wording.
Yeah,
And I think they're gonna be okay with this latest version.
okay. So this is the one that we have to vote to either close the bridge on Powers Road or we gotta fund it. And if we don't vote to close it, we have to pay for it no matter what. So I'm fine with discontinuing it. I used to drive that way, but I don't have to. Ken, you had fire department.
The fire department has issues with that, and I was told to call Wilton, which we're not happy with, the fire department.
Okay,
It's happened quite a few times where a portion of that Webster Highway we can't pass through to get to your end of town, the Pony Farm end of town. And our only option was to go to Powers Road and cut through. Granted, the bridge isn't made for the fire trucks, but at least we could get there. Without this bridge, the only other option is either to call Wilton and have them come in from their end, or we drive all the way through Wilton, around and come back through Wilton.
mhm.
So I don't think that I think that the fire department is going to say something in regards to this at the town meeting.
Okay, George, what do you think about it?
I'd like to see that bridge replaced at some point.
All right, so I guess we're not gonna recommend that one. We'll just leave that one up in the air.
So just leave it alone, not 2 to 1, 1 to 2, or just nothing.
Just leave it CIP recommended as far as I'm concerned, and we can hash it out at town meeting.
Okay.
Let's see, $8,000 to replace the carpet in the town library.
Again, wish we just had a maintenance budget for town buildings that we
Yep.
could fund this through, and we don't, and we still don't. So it definitely is time,
Okay,
and I'm okay with it.
all right, I am too.
Me also.
All right, $16,600, which is 40%. This is to purchase a new cruiser for the police department. This has been on their plans. This will be contingent on Greenville also approving it. So I think it's fine to,
This has been in our CIP as well.
yep,
So it's not anything new.
right. So I think I'll recommend it. I assume we all will.
Yes.
Okay. This one, adopt the Temple Community Power Plan. Again, this doesn't cost the town anything, doesn't cost residents anything. It just lets the town residents sign up for cheaper power.
And they also can
Opt out.
default out if they wish to.
Yeah, they can opt out if they want. So I'm fine with it.
I just wonder how that's all gonna work, because they're gonna gather together to get cheaper prices from Eversource,
Well, it's,
but also
yeah.
Eversource is dropping it.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So that's why, I mean, we put it in effect, people don't have to do it.
Right.
And I won't because, you know, but they don't handle solar yet, which I have, so. But anyway, I'm recommending it for everybody else if they want to use it.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Anytime we can save everybody in town some money.
Yep. All righty. That's it.
I just still gotta, get all those zoning things all squared away, and hopefully I can get those in the portal. I mean, you guys don't need to vote on them, but they're just going back and forth with,
Okay.
um,
And the town, as a matter, we don't ever recommend or not recommend petition warrant articles. We just take no position on them. So for any of those, we can ignore.
And yeah, any petition warrant articles.
Okay, rec event on the town common, and Vivian's not here. She's out of town. They left this morning. What was the event they want to do on the common? I don't remember. It's in here somewhere.
Something in here. I think it was a craft type thing.
Yeah, I think so.
Event in the spring, celebrate Temple Craft Fair and townwide yard sale.
Yep.
Saturday, May 4th from 10 to 4 p.m.
I'm fine with that. Anybody else have a problem with it?
I have no problem.
I have no problem.
Okay, so I move that we allow the
Correct.
Temple Rec Commission to use the town common on the stated dates. All in favor? Or is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, she's set. One thing that just came in, so Russ Huntley donated his time, basically donated what he would have charged to do the surveying around here. And we should acknowledge his gift here in the meeting. So
Absolutely.
What did you just say?
we should acknowledge his gift to the town.
Oh. okay.
So I move that we thank Russ Huntley for his donation of his services
I'll second.
to the town. All in favor?
And
Go ahead.
I,
Aye.
and draft a letter of appreciation to send to him.
Yeah, yeah. Carol, you want to do that or you want me to do it?
Second that,
George seconded.
I'll write up something, Carol, and send it to you.
okay,
It won't be long.
it's $2,000 and he did do an invoice, but.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, do we have any committee updates? I don't know. No.
I attended the staff committee meeting.
Get George's microphone down. where he can-
Yeah.
Hey, George, bend your microphone down there so you can,
Oh, excuse me.
okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yep,
I attended that meeting on the January 25th. There were just enough people to have a quorum.
Hmm.
And Kimberly Saunders, we congratulated her because she became New Hampshire Superintendent of the Year. And she's gonna be one of 4 candidates to get National Superintendent of the Year.
Hmm.
They came in with a operating budget with a total of $56,749. I didn't have a pen with me, but I tried to remember everything. The health insurance was up 25,000, I believe. Transportation was up. And they said that the average cost per student is 22,000 a year.
Hmm.
And they're still working on consolidation, reconfiguration. But there was nobody to speak against it.
interesting that,
I think that's why we had a low turnout.
yeah. Dublin pays 36,000 a year per student, and I think we pay 32,000 a
Right.
year. Something's wrong here.
So I think it's it's gonna be on the warrant. And I hope a lot of people don't support the
Right.
thing.
Okay, anything else?
We had a police budget meeting that I missed, so I don't know what happened.
No, police budget meeting, all we did was review the final budget. It didn't change. And it's been submitted to the BAC and we have it. Which as a reminder, everyone watching, the budget hearing is next Thursday at 6:30.
Is that the final budget?
Yep.
Yes.
Are we gonna discuss anything about COLA?
Oh, we should do that tonight. Yes, I forgot about that. I told the BAC we would most likely do a COLA increase of 2%.
Too?
Yeah, so they have recalculated things, pending us voting this. We okay with that?
I know Peterborough was at 4%.
Well, we gave them a lot last year.
Yeah, we did 3.5% last year.
Yeah, and our budget is up 6.5%.
I noticed that.
Yeah. So I'm happy with 2, but you guys can change it if you want.
What do you think, Ken?
I would like to be able to do more, except our budget's already up and we have to watch the taxpayer.
I
part of this.
understand that.
And I think we can research this and maybe do more next year.
Yeah.
But I think this is kind of where we end up this year.
Okay, so the COLA is gonna be at 2%.
Yeah, so I'll make a motion that we grant a cost of living increase to all town employees that are approved.
I will second it, and we also have to add to the list of those employees, the supervisors of the checklist.
Yes, I asked for that to be done, so formally, we will also add the supervisors of the checklist to the approved group. Is there a second?
Second,
All in favor? Aye.
aye.
Okay, the COLA is 2% to everyone that is on the list now.
Not the policy, right? Was there anybody else excluded that should be on?
That was the only-
We need to add it to the policy then too, right?
Yeah, that's the only change that has been discussed was the adding the trustees of the trust fund. The ones that are currently excluded,
Not the trustees of the trust.
I mean, right,
supervisors
supervisors of the checklist, sorry.
It's not,
Yeah,
it's not open up that.
yeah, sorry, scratch that comment. The ones that were excluded remain excluded.
Election workers and all of that excluded.
Yeah. And although we probably should,
I mean, $9 an hour is what they,
yeah, I know. Well, the way we should handle this is these little stipend things, we should just increase their salaries or the hourly amount they get paid. Well, we can't do it this year. We can do it next year.
Yeah, and we can look at all that next year and go over all of that, and also, there is the thing, if we keep this 12-hour voting days, that we don't provide any lunch for the
Ah.
people that are here for 12 hours plus.
Right, so,
And I think we should think about adding into, I mean, at least buying them a burger or a sub. or
yeah,
something.
sub sandwiches,
I mean,
something,
nothing elaborate, but they're here for 12 hours, they can't leave. It's not like we can
right.
do anything.
All right, there has also been a request from just about everybody that was working the polls that we change these hours. 7 to 7 is just too long. So do we want to do a warrant article to change that, like 10 to 7, except for the federal presidential elections,
I think 8 to 7.
8 to 7? Knock an hour off?
8 to 7 would be better.
That's an improvement.
It was Gail that came up, oh, we gotta start at 7. Well,
Yeah.
there isn't another town that has as long a
Yeah, I know.
day as we do.
I know. All right, so I'll write up a warrant article that we'll have to add.
thanks.
It'll be short. It'll be short. Just says, will the town vote to approve changing the hours the polls are open to 8 AM to 7 PM for all elections except presidential elections, which will be 7 AM to 7 PM. That's what it'll say. All right, I'll do that.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Anything else on that? Aren't anything? Or now we got to do our select board meeting minutes from January 9th.
The only thing that I had was on
These all get
page 1
Yes, they're all.
Trying to find the blasted things.
of 2,
Okay,
under the ARPA payment.
yep,
Discussion for the carpenter for the municipal building.
uh-huh,
It does say in here that the remaining balance was received, however, the board previously only approved $2,000. The whole thing was 71 or $7,200, so that we can. I think that needs to be in there somewhere. I don't really care how you get it in there, but
okay,
Include the.
I think it needs to be in there because we went from, it doesn't look good when we approved $2,000, but we paid him almost 8.
Yeah.
You know, that's wrong.
yep,
We did approve $7,200 and, it was a little more because of the rot that we found after the fact.
right, okay.
Greg, the one that had the problem with the rot.
Yes, Greg,
He didn't involve it.
he He knew to contact me, but he put in the bill without contacting me. So we went back and forth a little bit and, we decided the last meeting, we're gonna give him $3,400, I think, which was around $400 or $500 short of what he should have done or should have gotten. But the fact remains that he did not talk to me or show me where all this stuff was while he was doing it, which is great because he actually went out over and above to get it done and done correctly.
Right.
But I needed to be in that conversation and I couldn't justify all of that without being in that conversation.
Yep. Okay. Any other changes to them?
That was the only thing I had.
All right, I move we accept the minutes as amended. Is there a second?
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Anything else?
Motion to adjourn.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned. Good night, everyone.
I just remember that so selling can the startup meeting with Avatar and the DRA.
Yep.
on
Yes,
On
Thursday.
Thursday.
Next Thursday.
Yeah.